Welcome back to a warm embrace, a soft place for the hard parts of being human. Last week we spoke about why thoughts get loud. Today, we're talking about what happens when one thought becomes 10. When reflection turns into rumination. When awareness turns into overwhelm. If you've ever felt pulled into a mental loop that feels impossible to exit, this one's for you. A spiral rarely starts with chaos. It starts with one small thought. It usually begins subtly. A memory, a comment, a tone shift in someone's voice. One thought attaches itself to another. Your brain connects patterns quickly, especially if you're emotionally perceptive. That's not weakness. It's pattern recognition. But when it's fear-driven, pattern recognition becomes prediction. Overthinking often looks like rehearsal. You replay conversations, not just what you said, but how they might respond next time. You script their reaction, your response, their counterpoint, your defense. It feels responsible, prepared almost, like self-trust. But here's the shift. Preparation says, if I think through every outcome, I'll be safe. Self-trust says, I'll handle it when it comes. There are infinite variables. And when reality doesn't follow your script, the control system gets bypassed. And that is when the spiral intensifies. Spiraling feels productive. It feels like work. But often, it's the mental equivalent of running on a treadmill. It's motion without movement. We think constant thinking equals resolution. But resolution rarely comes from repetition. It comes from perspective. Think about something you've spiraled about recently. Were you trying to solve something? Or were you trying to prevent something? Was it growth-driven curiosity? Or fear of feeling the way you once did? That distinction matters. Spirals feel endless because they're fueled by uncertainty. And uncertainty has no natural stopping point. If you're chasing certainty in a world that doesn't guarantee it, the mind will keep searching. Not because you're dramatic, but because your nervous system prefers predictability. Overthinking is often vigilance in disguise. Your system scanning for risk, scanning for rejection, scanning for mistakes. It doesn't feel like protection when you're inside it. It feels like responsibility. But responsibility without limits becomes exhaustion. You don't spiral because you're weak. You spiral because somewhere along the way, your brain learned that preparation equals safety. But you've handled unprepared moments before. Small ones, big ones. You survived them. Not because you rehearsed perfectly, but because you adapted. That is resilience. You don't need to predict everything to be okay. Thank you for listening to A Warm Embrace. Take what lands, leave what doesn't, and be kind to yourself today. I'll see you next week.